Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 140. I'm Adam and today we've got another battle for two beasts and make it through to round 5. This is the fifth battle of round 4. So far we have 4 beasts that have fought their way into the next round, and quite frankly I am proud of all 4 of those fights. I did get a copyright claim on one of them, I will be honest, but I added a disclaimer saying I do not own the rights to the song I use / the film it's from. So that's that. It's still playable. People are still able to watch it, so that's fine. It works. But I think I need to behave now. So that is the end of that running joke. Fun. Right, in the last episode I said I was recording just the 4 videos. That stood true. I mean, it's much later in the day, but I am still recording this battle on the same day. So for me, 4 beasts have already made it through to round 5, and all their battles were only a few hours ago. To be more precise, 7 hours ago, or 8 or 7 hours ago. So the day went by. Alright day, I guess. Bit boring for me. But then again, I don't really do much, so yeah. But now we're back at this. I'm going to try and get, I don't know how many videos done, but I like to get at least 2. But anyway, with that aside, let's introduce the beasts that I was battling in this 5th round of round 4. Felt it coming right before I was about to talk. Representing Series 21, The Sorcerer's Revenge, The Last Beast Standing, and book number 2, we have Skrar, the Night Scavenger, versus his opponent, representing quite a large group of specials, and also one which has got quite a few creative victories under his belt. However, kind of obvious victories as well. We have Kyrax, the Metal Warrior. So with Kyrax versus Skrar, we do have an interesting matchup here. With what I can do, I think I know how this battle is going to end out, but we'll just have to wait and see if it's true. So with that, let's get to the stats. Skrar is a hulking, muscular beast whose body is coated in spiky white fur that can burst into scorchingly hot purple flames. If that isn't terrifying enough, his smooth, scaled, serpent-like tail can knock his foes unconscious. Age 429, power 251, magic level 176, fright factor 93, size 292. Powers and abilities: ignition, natural weaponry, and enhanced durability. Weaknesses: limited ignition. And after that ignition, he needs to rest. And that is a very, very bad weakness. Honestly, it's a weakness which can be exploited, but you need to have a beast that can withstand that heat first. Up next, we have Kyrax, the Metal Warrior. This nearly invincible beast of Henkrau, created by the wicked Igor to do his destructive bidding, is brought to life by a drop of Tom's blood and quickly becomes a menace Igor cannot control. So powerful is this warrior that Tom and Alina need to call Furno for backup. Age 0, power 209, magic level 161, fright factor 89, size 144. Powers and abilities: metal absorption, body control, flight, metal regeneration, lightning magic, enhanced strength, enhanced durability, and I forgot this in the last battle, but the golden armor powers as well. Weaknesses: fire, a beast's weapon, and heart destruction. Just to confirm, body control means he can morph his body into different constructs, like a blade on his arm or an axe, as I've been doing, and sprouting wings from his back. So, okay, metal regeneration. He can use metal in his body to regenerate from most attacks. Okay, Lightning magic, I use that to create portals to go from place to place. Enhanced strength and enhanced durability, I don't need to talk about that one. But that's the stats department done. So that, Skrar versus Kyrax. The battlefield would be a forest battlefield. So let's get into this. As the chamber doors open, Kyrax bursts through the chamber, charging right out into the center, sprouting his wings as he's almost gliding his way through, slicing through any trees with his wings that dare get in his path. As he makes his way to the center, he looks around to the other chambers and sees a set of red eyes staring right at him. Kyrax, wasting no time, forms a blade in his hand at the ready for what this beast may do. Skrar makes his way out into the light slowly, creating scorching flames on the grass that leaves a hoof-like footprint in his wake. With his tail that he's swinging around slowly, he knocks any tree behind him to the side immediately. Kyrax doesn't seem intimidated by it, takes to the sky and soars back down, charging straight towards Skrar, lifting his arm. Skrar's at the ready for this and ducks out of the way of the swipe and bites down onto the blade, pulling Kyrax back towards him. As Kyrax is just trying to take off, Skrar's pulling him towards him, digging his hoose into the ground, preventing him from getting away. And then Skrar lifts his head up and slams it down, slamming Kyrax into the ground. Skrar releases his grip and using his tail smashes Kyrax into the ground repeatedly, down, down, down. Kyrax is able to lift up one hand and summoning lightning as it strikes his hand. He then slams the hand into the ground, creating a portal on the ground that both Skrar and Kyrax fall into. As they're warping through the portal, Skrar stops attacking Kyrax and is looking around in confusion, thinking that this is impossible. He's already dealt with one beast that can change the background, and now he's dealing with a second one. As they land, they find themselves in a barren desert. As Skrar gets up to look at his surroundings, he sees the sunlight just reflecting down onto Kyrax. He then charges up towards Kyrax changing both of his arms into axe blades, and charges up towards Skrar, lifting both his arms and brings them down in the cross-like formation onto Skrar. Skrar is able to turn around and has the axe blades dig into his thick, scaly tail as he swings it wildly, swinging Kyrax out of control. Kyrax releases his grip of Skrar as he gets flung, and Skrar charges up towards Kyrax and pins him down by his arms and growling right at his head, growling right into his face. Kyrax, completely unfazed by this, goes to try and take up off the ground, but Skrar won't let him. Kyrax feels a tinge of heat starting to come onto him. He groans in pain, but realizes that the heat is coming from Skrar. As the heat suddenly gets more intense, Kyrax starts to panic, so he lifts up his hand and summons lightning, creates another portal that they both fall in. Skrar bites down onto Kyrax's head, refusing to let Kyrax away from him. As Skrar does that, Kyrax, unable to get away, they both fall into what seems like an ocean or a lake, as the water quickly covers both of them, and Kyrax sees that bubbles are rising violently from Skrar. Kyrax can also feel that the heat that's coming from Skrar is increasing wildly at this point, to the point where Kyrax is feeling the heat coming from Skrar's teeth melting into his neck. Kyrax morphs both his hands into blades and stabs them into Skrar's sides, into his shoulders, but that just makes Skrar tighten his grip on his neck further, and Skrar manipulates his body to force his claws or hooves into Kyrax's chest, where Skrar suddenly explodes into a burst of heat, evaporating all the water that's in this lake, causing them both to fall to the ground, steadily. Kyrax screams in pain from the amount of exasperating heat that's coming onto him. Kyrax goes to attack, but he sees his hand start to melt away, and he goes to try and fly away, but he sees his wings melt away as well. He feels his head, his every part of him start to melt away from this heat. As the steam clears off, anyone who's seen this is just seeing a chimera-like beast standing in the lake, in the crater now, just struggling to keep his balance and staring at a pool of melted metal. Well, mostly evaporated metal. I'll explain more on that later. Skrar makes his way towards this metal and, using any last strength of heat that he has, lifts up his hooves and slams it into the metal puddle and exhausts all remaining heat at it as the liquid metal starts to evaporate and the heat radiation is coming up to the top of the lake where the spectators are seeing this, where they have to back away for their own safety. As the heat wears off and the radiation clears up, they come back to the lake crater to see Skrar lying down peacefully with no sight of the puddle with no puddle in sight, and the lake that's completely dried up. So with that, Skrar's won, Kyrax is lost. If you think Kyrax will run, please in comments below why you think that, how my words final, and Skrar's moving on to the next round. Being honest when I say I could see either of these beasts winning. However, I gave Skrar the victory for multiple reasons on this. Kyrax may have the ability to change the background, and obviously you'd expect that he would change the portal to go into water to extinguish Skrar. But we've had this before in a previous battle with Koba, where Koba done the same thing, but it didn't work for him, and it didn't work for Kyrax. Second, Kyrax made a liquid metal. Okay, you can't melt it then because it's liquid. You can vaporize it though. And you're probably wondering, okay, Skrar needs to be pretty hot to vaporize metal. And I'm going to say yes, because in round 2, he melted Kyraxa, the Diamond Warrior. So, with the heat to evaporate a lake, melt diamond, I think it's a pretty safe bet he can easily vaporize Kyrax. So with that, I gave Skrar the victory. Now, I know there's something that I know Lucas is going to say to me when he sees this. Why didn't Kyrax use his golden armor powers? Well, Lucas, if you don't remember, we gave all these beasts personalities. Kyrax's is angry/ego. And the ego part is actually his downfall. Because with his ego, he thinks he's more powerful than he is. That was Koba's downfall as well. He was cocky. Kyrax's ego comes into the fact where he doesn't feel the need to use all his abilities. And with that, he didn't use his golden armor powers because he thinks he's too good to use them. And that we theorized that happened in his book alone, and that's something I'm carrying on through this tournament. I've done it in the Special Generation tournament, I'm doing it here. And that's why Kyrax has never used his golden armor powers in this tournament. But, like with Koba, his ego was his downfall. It's kind of... I was going to say this battle was kind of boring compared to the previous battles I've done this round. But this battle had the most callbacks previous battles I've done. With 2. But... I mean, it had a callback to the Koba fight with the ego and the transport into a lake kind of thing. It also calls back to Skrar's fights in the New Generation tournament against Plexor. Yes, Plexor won that fight, but anyway, ignoring that. It also called back to the round 2 fight, where the diamond got melted, so therefore liquid metal should get vaporized. I probably should have googled if it needs a hotter temperature for metal to vaporize, but being honest when I say, I'm pretty sure in the round 2 fight, Kyrax got vaporized as well as melted. So with that I know should be a hotter temperature, so I'm gonna assume Kyrax would get vaporized. If I didn't, I apologize for the mistake. However, being honest when I say, out of all the beasts in this tournament, if Skrar didn't kill Kyrax, there's a beast that probably would. And also, I'm going to say, I've kind of made it canon that Skrar is the hottest beast, firepower wise. And if Furno was the beast that killed Kyrax in this book, then Skrar will be able to make a meal out of Kyrax. Multiple reasons why Skrar won. I will say that doesn't mean Kyrax was going to lose every fight. Kyrax did have a chance. He did the blade thing into his shoulder blades. However, I'm just needing to give that the enhanced durability that Skrar had helped him being able to withstand that attack and continue with his. So with that, Skrar's into the top 10 or round 5, and we've lost another special. But with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down the corner below, and I'll see you next time.